Well, looks like the internet just caught fire again, and this time it's courtesy of Chrisean Rock and her latest heartbreak disaster. Bino didn't just dump her, he did it live for the entire world to see. The breakup was so chaotic, so unpredictable, and so emotionally reckless, it made the Kardashians look like they meditate for a living. One minute they were all smiles, the next minute Bino looked straight into the camera and hit Chrisean with the verbal equivalent of a wrecking ball, and the internet? It went nuclear. Fans froze mid-scroll. Shade Room couldn't post fast enough. Twitter turned into a therapy session and a gladiator pit at the same time. Everyone's asking the same question. What really happened? Because this wasn't some random couple fight, this was a full-blown celebrity implosion streamed in real time, behind the cameras, behind the filters. There's a story uglier than anyone expected: betrayal, ego, and a level of drama that could make Zeus himself cancel Olympus. So buckle up, because what Bino said, what Chrisean did, and what came after, has the whole industry shook to its core. Welcome to the chaos. It all started like every toxic love story in Hollywood: too fast, too public, and too loud. Chrisean Rock and Bino were supposed to be the rebrand, the redemption arc, the calm after the Blueface storm. For 5 minutes, the internet actually believed that maybe, just maybe, Chrisean had finally found someone who could handle her chaos without flipping the entire table. Spoiler alert, that fantasy lasted about as long as a TikTok trend. When the cameras came on, nobody expected to witness a real-life reality show meltdown. The live started normal, Chrisean laughing, Bino in the background, music playing, the usual messy fun. But then something shifted. You could feel it through the screen, that silent tension when a couple's fight goes from playful to personal. And within seconds, the world was watching what would become one of the most awkward, jaw-dropping breakups ever streamed. Bino, cool and calm at first, suddenly hit a tone the internet had never heard from him before. He looked right at the camera and said, "I'm not doing this no more," just like that. No build-up, no warning, no dramatic music cue. And Chrisean, queen of unpredictability, empress of emotional chaos, froze. For the first time in years, she didn't have a comeback ready. The comments exploded. Wait, what? Is this real? He's joking, right? Nah, he wasn't joking. The man meant every syllable. And in that single sentence, Bino turned a casual Instagram live into the digital equivalent of a breakup concert. Chrisean tried to laugh it off at first, but you could see the confusion flicker across her face. She kept saying, "What you mean? Stop playing," but Bino wasn't smiling. He wasn't trolling. He was done. The kind of done you can't come back from with an apology and a post-live cuddle. The kind of done that comes from weeks of quiet resentment bubbling underneath public smiles. Then he said the words that broke the internet. "I can't be the villain in somebody else's show." Boom. That was the gunshot. That was the line that echoed across every blog, every tweet, every podcast. The villain in somebody else's show. Translation: "I'm tired of living in your chaos." Instantly, the timeline split in two. Team Chrisean claimed Bino was weak, ungrateful, and clout-chasing. Team Bino argued that he'd been patient, loyal, and silently enduring way too much. Both sides had receipts, clips of her meltdowns, videos of his loyalty, screenshots of old lives, and thousands of armchair psychologists diagnosing the relationship like it was a group project. But here's the thing, this wasn't just another celebrity breakup. This was the symbolic sequel to the Blueface era, the redemption that never redeemed. The storyline that was supposed to heal Chrisean's public image ended up blowing it up again. And the worst part? She didn't see it coming. As the live went on, you could literally feel her unraveling. She tried to get serious, asking him to talk privately. But Bino wasn't having it. He said, "You love the crowd too much. You want an audience even when it hurts." That line alone sent shockwaves through the fanbase. Because deep down, everyone knew there was truth in it. Chrisean's entire life, her rise, her chaos, her brand had become performance art wrapped in pain. Viewers watched as her expression shifted from denial to disbelief to fury. "You tryna embarrass me?" she snapped. On live, but it was too late. The damage was done. Bino wasn't backing down. His tone was calm, too calm, the kind of calm that comes when someone has already made peace with leaving. Within minutes, the clip started spreading. People screen recorded every second, every word, every awkward pause. Memes were made before the live even ended. One meme showed Bino walking away from a burning house labeled Chrisean Rock's love life. Another said, "He dumped her mid-episode. It was cruel." But viral culture doesn't care about feelings, only engagement. And engagement was through the roof. Within an hour, the video had been reposted by every major gossip outlet, The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, No Jumper, and even pages that usually mind their business were suddenly reporting breaking. Bino dumps Chrisean Rock live on Instagram. Meanwhile, behind the screen, the fallout had begun. Close friends started unfollowing each other. Mutuals began posting cryptic messages about energy and knowing your worth. You know it's bad when people start posting motivational quotes at 3 a.m. The internet started digging deeper. Old clips resurfaced, moments where Bino seemed frustrated during interviews, clips of Chrisean interrupting him mid-sentence, or showing up to his events and turning them into shouting matches. Suddenly, fans started piecing together the puzzle. Maybe this breakup wasn't random at all. Maybe it had been building for weeks. Some claimed Chrisean's temper and need for constant validation pushed him away. Others swore Bino used her fame until he didn't need it anymore. Everyone had an opinion, and none of them were quiet about it. Twitter threads turned into dissertations. TikTok users started narrating the breakup like it was a documentary. And YouTubers? They were already writing their thumbnails in all caps. The real reason Bino left Chrisean. But let's be real, this wasn't just about a relationship. This was about image control. For months, Chrisean had been trying to show the world she'd changed. Motherhood softened her, she said. New love healed her, she said. But when Bino walked out on live, it shattered that illusion instantly. Fans didn't see growth, they saw the same Chrisean they've always known, unpredictable, emotional, and surrounded by chaos. And yet, that's exactly why people love her. She's raw, she's messy, she's human, but fame doesn't let you be human. Fame feeds on mistakes. Fame takes your heartbreak and sells it as content. And that's what was happening in real time. Meanwhile, Bino started trending too, not as a hero, not as a villain, but as the guy who survived. His followers skyrocketed overnight. Interviews were requested. Gossip blogs started offering him exclusive tell-all opportunities. He didn't even need to speak. His silence was profitable. Then came the twist. Fans noticed something strange. Hours before the breakup live, Bino had posted a cryptic story saying, "You can't build peace with someone addicted to storms." Nobody paid attention to it then, but after the live, it became the quote of the week. Every breakup post, every comment section, every meme, that one line was everywhere. The irony? Both of them were saying the same thing, just in different ways. Bino wanted peace. Chrisean wanted passion. But in the world of fame, peace doesn't trend. Passion, especially the messy kind, always wins. And as the internet replayed the breakup like it was a movie premiere, you could feel the deeper truth settle in. This wasn't just a love story gone wrong. This was the cost of living your entire life online. The moment you invite millions into your relationship, it stops being love and starts being performance. So when Bino said, "I'm done," he wasn't just ending the relationship, he was stepping off the stage. But for Chrisean, that stage is her world. It's the only place she knows how to exist. And that's why this breakup hit harder than anything before, because for the first time, Chrisean wasn't the one controlling the chaos. Someone else flipped the script, and the internet? It couldn't look away. By the next morning, the entire internet was a circus, and Chrisean Rock and Hood Trophy Bino were the main act. You couldn't scroll to inches without seeing their names plastered everywhere. Clips of the breakup were now set to dramatic background music, slowed down, captioned, and reposted by fan pages with titles like "The Moment Everything Changed." Twitter, or what's left of it, was in shambles. Half the timeline was dragging Bino for breaking up with a woman live in front of millions, while the other half said he finally did what Blueface never had the courage to do: walk away. Nobody could agree on anything except one fact: this was chaos. and they loved every second of it. Within hours, influencers started turning into relationship experts. Podcasts that hadn't mentioned Chrisean in months suddenly just happened to have an episode ready about toxic dynamics and emotional addiction. Every clip started with the same line, "See, the thing about Chrisean is," as if they had a degree in her psychology. And the comment sections? Straight warfare. People were posting timestamps from the breakup video like detectives building a case. You can see it in his face at 6:32. That's when he decided to leave. Look at her eyes right before he says it. That's pure heartbreak. The live wasn't just entertainment anymore. It was evidence. The internet had turned a messy breakup into a full-blown investigation, and when Chrisean finally went quiet for 12 hours, a rare sight, everyone knew something was coming. Because silence is never silence with her. It's the calm before the storm. Sure enough, she came back swinging. She hit live again, but this time the tone was different. Emotional, shaky, defensive, raw. "Y'all don't even know what we've been through," she said, eyes glistening. "That boy used me for clout." It was part heartbreak, part rage, part reality TV monologue. She wasn't just talking to her followers, she was talking to him. The internet froze. Screenshots flew. Reactions poured in. And before you could even refresh the feed, the clip was trending. Chrisean speaks out. But that was only the beginning. Because when she said, "He used me for clout," Bino must have been watching. Because moments later, yes, moments he posted to his story, "Ain't no clout worth my peace." Boom. Round 2. The breakup had turned into a public war. Every post felt like a chess move. Chrisean cried on camera. Bino posted gym videos looking unbothered. Chrisean posted old pictures of them together with the caption, "He switched up." Bino reposted a quote that said, "The wrong one will always make you feel crazy for being real." The back and forth wasn't just emotional, it was strategic. Each update was like a new episode in a drama series that refused to end. Then came the celebrity reactions. Blueface, because of course he couldn't resist, jumped in with a tweet that broke the algorithm. "Told y'all she don't listen." That one line sent the entire internet into cardiac arrest. Suddenly, this wasn't just a breakup. This was a triangle. Blueface, Bino, and Chrisean, 3 names that together spell pure chaos. Chrisean responded without saying a word. She posted a single photo of her son with the caption, "The only man who'll never leave me." Emotional, direct, powerful. The internet collectively gasped. Fans flooded the comments with hearts while others called it manipulation. Either way, it worked. The narrative was back in her hands, for now. But Bino wasn't done either. He went live again, calm and calculated, saying, "I ain't never needed a camera to prove I cared." The tone was serious, not angry, not messy, just fed up. He spoke about trying to help her grow, about how love can't fix everything, and how peace don't live where the circus stays. That one line hit so hard, even non-fans started quoting it. Within hours, "Peace don't live where the circus stays" became a viral catchphrase. TikTok turned it into a trend, people using the audio over clips of themselves walking away from toxic exes, fake friends, and bad jobs. The breakup had evolved into content currency. It wasn't just gossip anymore, it was an aesthetic. Meanwhile, YouTube exploded. Commentary channels were pumping out thumbnails faster than gossip blogs could steal them. Titles like "Bino finally snaps" and "Chrisean's downfall." The pattern continues flooded the algorithm. Some even called it the Blueface curse, saying every man who dates Chrisean eventually ends up publicly humiliated. Others defended her, arguing that she's a product of trauma, not trouble. It was the same conversation, just repackaged with new faces. And here's the wildest part: every time someone criticized her, she fired back with more emotion, more lives, more tears, more chaos. It's like she couldn't help herself. The internet is her battlefield and her therapy couch. She bleeds online, and people keep watching. It's tragic, magnetic, and marketable all at once. By midweek, the story had reached major outlets. TMZ ran the headline, "Chrisean Rock and Bino implode on Instagram Live." Blogs speculated about who was to blame. Insiders started whispering about a violent argument that happened off camera before the breakup. Someone claimed Bino's family had warned him to distance himself. Another said Chrisean's team begged her to stop going live, but we all know telling Chrisean not to go live is like telling a storm not to rain. The reactions from fans were pure chaos. 1 minute, they were defending her with hashtags like #ProtectChrisEan, and the next, they were tagging Bino under comments like "You did the right thing." Even celebrities started chiming in, reality stars, rappers, influencers, all offering unsolicited opinions wrapped in love and light. But the true power move came from Bino himself. Out of nowhere, he dropped a music snippet on his Instagram with lyrics that fans instantly connected to the breakup. Tried to heal a heart that loves the fight, can't fix a storm that calls the lightning. Boom. The internet melted. Some said it was poetry. Others said it was petty. But one thing was certain, the man was using heartbreak as branding gold. Chrisean reacted within hours, going live again, this time, furious. "You gon' make music off my pain?" she shouted. "You not real." The irony, of course, was that she was reacting on live again, giving him exactly what he needed: attention. The more she raged, the more people streamed his snippet. Within 24 hours, it had over 1 million plays. By the end of the week, what started as a breakup had become a movement. Memes, merch, hashtags, people were printing "I'm not Bino" shirts, turning heartbreak into humor. It wasn't just about love gone wrong anymore, it was about entertainment. The audience was addicted, and neither of them could stop feeding it. But somewhere in all that noise, there was a strange sadness. Because no matter who was right or wrong, both of them looked exhausted. You could see it in her eyes during her last live, the tiredness, the confusion, the heartbreak behind the anger. You could hear it in his voice, the frustration of someone who tried to love a storm and got struck by lightning. And the internet, as always, didn't care about peace or healing. It just wanted more chaos, more tears, more quotes to repost. Because the show doesn't end when love does not in this era. T just gets louder. When the smoke finally began to settle, the internet realized something chilling: there were no winners, only casualties. What started as a breakup had turned into a social media war zone where reputations, emotions, and entire brands were being shredded in real time. Chrisean went dark for 2 days, which in her world is practically a century. Every gossip outlet waited like vultures, circling the silence. And when she re-emerged, it wasn't the loud, explosive Chrisean everyone expected. It was a quieter, rawer version, sitting in her car, speaking in half sentences. "Y'all think y'all know, but y'all don't." The tone was broken yet defiant. The kind of voice that comes from crying too much but refusing to give the internet satisfaction. She didn't name Bino directly, but the subtext screamed louder than any tag. "Everybody think they can play with me 'cause I love hard. But y'all gon' miss me when I stop." The clip went viral within minutes. It wasn't just pain, it was performance pain. The line between authenticity and audience had completely evaporated. Meanwhile, Bino had transformed from underground rapper to reluctant headline magnate. His follower count exploded. His DMs filled with record label scouts and brand offers. But behind the digital glow-up, people could sense the unease. Every time he posted a story, someone would comment, "She made you." Every photo was flooded with Team Chrisean spam. Fame, it turns out, is the worst reward for heartbreak. Blogs dissected their every move like forensic experts. One post said Chrisean was back with Blueface. Another said she was plotting a revenge reality series. Nothing was confirmed, everything was monetized. Every rumor became an article, every caption became clickbait. Their personal collapse had become an economy. And just when it felt like things might fade, a new twist hit. Leaked texts. Screenshots surfaced allegedly showing a conversation between Bino and one of Chrisean's friends, messages that hinted he'd been over it long before the breakup. Whether real or fake didn't matter. The narrative had new fuel. The internet reignited overnight. Fans started picking apart old footage again, comparing timestamps like detectives in a celebrity CSI episode. One clip of Bino sitting quietly during one of Chrisean's chaotic lives suddenly proved he'd been emotionally checked out. Another video of her yelling, "Don't embarrass me," became symbolic of their entire relationship. Raw, loud, and doomed. At this point, every influencer wanted a piece of the drama. Even people who'd never met them were posting motivational rants that conveniently used the situation for clout. One TikTok life coach started a series called Lessons from Chrisean and Bino. The first lesson, never date someone trending. It got 1 million views. But beneath the jokes and think pieces, something darker was brewing: sympathy fatigue. The audience that once rallied behind Chrisean started growing tired. They'd seen this story before. Love, chaos, public meltdown, apology, repeat. The comments shifted from "we got you, sis" to "here we go again." That's the cruel cycle of internet fame. The same crowd that builds you up for being real will tear you down for being repetitive. And Chrisean was starting to feel it. In one late-night post, she wrote, "Y'all love my pain too much," then deleted it 5 minutes later. But screenshots never die. Bino, on the other hand, leaned into the storm. He dropped the full version of his breakup song, now titled "Peace Ain't Free." The hook, "I loved a hurricane and called it home." Within a day, it topped Apple Music's trending chart. People didn't know if it was art or revenge, but they streamed it anyway. Pain sells, and this was platinum-grade heartbreak. Ironically, the more Bino succeeded, the more Chrisean's fans attacked him. They accused him of exploiting her vulnerability. He responded with silence: strategic, icy, maddening silence. Every time he ignored a headline, it grew twice as loud. By the second week, the breakup had evolved into a cultural moment. Late-night hosts cracked jokes about it. Parody accounts made fake couples therapy sessions. Memes of "when Bino said he's done, I felt that" circulated like modern proverbs. Even verified celebrities were posting cryptic lines that fans assumed were about them. Then came the emotional gut punch. Chrisean posted a video of herself holding her baby, whispering, "I'm good now. I just need peace." No background music, no glam, just raw honesty. It was short, unfiltered, human, and for the first time, the internet actually paused. The comment section turned gentle, almost protective. "You'll be okay. Focus on your son. Heal in private." For a moment, the noise dimmed. But only for a moment. Because the next morning, someone uploaded unseen footage from the breakup live, a previously muted segment where Bino allegedly said, "You love the internet more than me." The quote reignited everything. Debate flared back up. Team Chrisean called it emotional manipulation. Team Bino called it brutal honesty. It was chaos reincarnated, and that's when the bigger question started circulating: had they both been addicted to the drama? Was the relationship real, or was it mutual marketing disguised as love? Theories multiplied. "No way they didn't know what they were doing." One tweet read, "They both grew their followers by millions off this." Others defended them, saying, "Not everything's a strategy. Some people just break in public." But maybe both are true. Maybe in the influencer age, you don't need to choose between heartbreak and hustle. You can monetize both. As weeks passed, the dust finally began to fade. Bino's song stabilized on the charts. Chrisean started posting gym videos, family clips, quotes about rebirth. Fans claimed she looked happier, calmer. But the ghost of the breakup lingered, a digital scar that refused to heal. Every new post, no matter how wholesome, had someone in the comments writing, "We still remember the live." And that's the curse of viral love. It never dies. It just replays on loop for strangers who weren't even there. In private, insiders say both camps have moved on: separate teams, separate projects, separate lives. But online, their names will forever be connected, etched into pop culture history as the couple who broke up in front of the entire world. Because that's what fame does. It doesn't just magnify your success. It immortalizes your mistakes. Chrisean wanted a love story that proved she could heal. Bino wanted peace that didn't trend. What they created instead was a cautionary tale for every influencer couple chasing authenticity in front of a camera. And the saddest part, they probably did love each other, just not enough to survive the spotlight. As the internet moves on to its next scandal, this one will still linger like a ghost, popping up in throwback drama videos and top 10 celebrity breakups caught on live. Their chaos is now forever archived, replayed, re-edited, re-monetized, because once you give the world your pain, it doesn't hand it back, it hits share. And that's the truth that's got everyone shook. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the breakup that shook the algorithm, a real-life soap opera streamed in HD, where heartbreak met headline and love got turned into likes. Hood Trophy Bino didn't just dump Chrisean Rock. He dropped a cultural nuke right in the middle of social media, and the fallout is still trending, because in 2025, love doesn't die quietly, it goes live, it gets reposted, and it becomes content. And somewhere between the crying emojis, the TikTok remixes, and the podcasts pretending to care, we all got hooked. Not because we love drama, but because drama is the only thing that still feels real. But here's the real question: did Bino finally escape the storm, or did he just start a new one? And is Chrisean really healing, or just reloading? Because if history's taught us anything, peace doesn't last long in this corner of the internet. The next meltdown is probably already buffering. So before the next chapter drops, smash that like button like it owes you money. Hit subscribe before another couple combusts online and leaves you catching up at in the comments section. And drop your wildest theory below. Who was really at fault? Who's moving on? Who's going live next? This is Fame Ripple, where every secret leaks, every lie trends, and every scandal gets louder the more you scroll. Because in this world, heartbreak isn't private, it's prime time. Stay tuned, stay messy, and remember, in the game of fame, love is temporary, but screenshots are forever. This was Fame Ripple, and the next scandal, already in motion.